Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 56 of the Glory Days podcast. We are back. Not as somber of an attitude as last week, not because we got a better result, but because I am back. I am back in the studio.
Yeah.
Shout out to All Things Perth Glory for coming on last week. I thought he did a pretty good job. It was nice to have a new voice on for a change, and I got a week off. Unlucky Will. I know that you desperately hate doing these podcast episodes.
I got the week off last time.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Not that I wanted it, I just couldn't.
But to be fair, it's normally you two that provide the most engagement and antics every podcast.
Because we're popular.
Which does make it, whenever I'm watching it back and having to edit it, it always is like, oh, so
these two are the sensible ones. We're here for brain rot and memes and awful takes, and I love that dynamic.
Just because of that, I would have loved to have brought you two along to our meeting with Griff.
It would have been really fun.
What about me?
No, because we're gonna brain rock Griff.
No.
You're too sensible.
I could just.
Then I'd bring you.
I could just imagine like the Glory FRG just sitting with Griff at a round table, me and Will sitting on opposite sides, and then just halfway through the interview we get bored, so we just stare at each other and start giggling.
Just start twitching on.
Griff just looks at it, and just like, what the fuck is this, bro?
Bro, I was just giggling to the fact that like James told me he brought a whole fucking notepad.
All them there with a beer, like casual conversation. James rocks up with a Diet Coke and a fucking notepad.
I mean, Griff thought he was going to some like fan interview thing.
Yeah, James.
No.
Right.
Hold on. So
with a fucking notebook.
Hold on. Since we've opened it up with it,
Griff starts like blinking.
So
Morse code. It's just like, help
me.
me.
It's Morse code to Gareth, because he brought Gareth along with him, and Gareth was like, I'm just going to wait in the car park for Griff.
Get him out.
Just quickly, because obviously that was what happened last week, and I did hype it up on the podcast last time that I'd be meeting Griff.
Mm-hmm.
Genuinely, top guy. He was a bit nervous, to be fair, when he came, because obviously he didn't know what he was walking into and saw that.
Yeah, and then he saw that and he was like, oh,
shit.
It's the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
Shout out Brad Freeney. No, but so Griff came in, was a little bit nervous to start off with. He had some sheets of paper that he had with him that had different notes and bits and pieces.
Yep.
But once the conversation shifted to more of a football side of things and we started talking about his style of play, I thought he was very generous. And, sometimes you can get with coaches, right? If you're talking to them about their style of play and you're kind of nitpicking it, and it was different people that were asking those questions, you can kind of get those defensive kind of answers where it was like standoffish.
You dare question me?
Yeah. But Griff, he welcomed the discussion.
Good.
Mentioned that, Maurizio Sarri in particular was a key influence for him.
Wow.
And that, he wants to stay.
Well,
he does want to stay.
I would think so.
Yeah. He's very clear on what he feels the team needs.
Okay.
And so if he gets the job next season, then hopefully we'll see that with Stan's recruitment, because I think we've got a decent spine, but I think it's lacking in several key areas. And I think for Griff, what was one of the key things...
Brother, the spine has scoliosis, bro. What are you doing?
No. It's got some decent parts to it, but I think with probably 3 or 4... technical and creative players added to the team to give it that extra boost, so that let's say it's not just up to Tom Lawrence, because
for sure.
Just because I wanted to include this stat. So before the Auckland game, I wanted to measure if there was a difference between when Lawrence plays and when he doesn't play.
Well,
in terms of XG,
the answer is yes.
There is, but
congratulations.
Our XG drops by 0.75 when he doesn't play. On average.
Wow!
So for a team that doesn't generate XG,
are you telling me that missing out on our best playmaker makes us create less chances?
Yes.
No.
Thanks, James.
But it's good to get in headlights.
I had a
never
thought. Sorry,
guess.
this is
Josh.
this is cutting in a bit. I had a thought. Imagine if we had David Williams for one more season. I think he'd be the perfect type of striker.
Well, I was going to say on the technical ability thing, because like Willow was obviously quite, like, he was a good striker, but he was really good on the ball as well. Like, he knew how to pick a pass. He knew how to just keep the ball close to his feet. I think we see a lot of that with Newcastle. Like, they don't have the best squad in the league, but a lot of their players are very tricky on the ball. They know how to play a pass. They know how to get in behind. They know how to do those quick little 1-2s. So I think that's I see where he's going with that, because Newcastle have shown you don't need the best squad. You just need players who are good on the ball and know how to play a pass, and then you can just beat anybody.
Yeah.
So I get what he's saying.
I mean, we see that with like Tavia and Kolakovsky. You don't
we've seen a difference. Imagine them with Tom Lawrence as well.
Like, but we even said this weeks ago when we were talking about how what we like with the Jets is that Mark Milligan doesn't overcoach the attack. There's no like serious sort of like, you must do this, you must cut back in this area, must play the pass. You just let them do their shit. And when you have players like Clayton Taylor, Eli Adams, Will Dobson, Lockie Rose, Maurizio Sarri, Sampaoli, Bielsa. Right. No, but when you have those kinds of players, you can get away with not having to overcoach them because they create so much havoc as it is. Yeah. And then you back that up with a really good double pivot of Max Burgess and Lockie Bayless. Yeah. That should be what we're going for. Hopefully, that's what we're going to see.
But I did actually ask Griff if a side like Newcastle was what the end goal of his football would look like. And he said, well, in parts yes, but in parts no, because defensively they leave themselves very exposed.
Yeah, they signed Susnya thinking he was going to be the golden boy, and that just did not work.
But not so much that, but it's like they commit a lot of players forward. And that was one of the things that disappointed him from that Newcastle game that we had in Perth. Fair enough. Where it was 2 set pieces that we conceded that were practically the same, and we couldn't, I guess, turn the game into an arm wrestle and try and take Newcastle on in the same way that we did the Hunter. Yep, that is a fair point.
Yeah.
Has Sushnir found a new club?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't know who would want him.
No idea.
Welcome.
Mate, his whole game. His whole game is like thunder twat the ball from 40 yards out and see if he can score.
But I thought he left for overseas opportunity.
Yeah, and then he ended up in Newcastle because it fell through.
No, he might have. I think he's.
I don't think. I'll check.
Check where he is.
I think he got released. I swear.
Yeah. Just to sort of end on the meeting with Griff. Very generous with his time. I really did enjoy talking to him about football because I remember there was a podcast that we had after the Adelaide home game where I was like, would love to sit down with Griff and go, fuck Mountain Goats, fuck Lions, boom, football, let's go, let's hear it. And very descriptive, which I was surprised with because I was like, how much is he going to give away? Because we don't really know what his level of, I guess, information giving in a public setting would be like, particularly with us as fans. But yeah, that was a really good meeting. And it hasn't said that he is the one, so to speak, but I understand his perspective. And there is that part of me where it's like, what if we give him a pre-season and give him the profile of players that he wants? Could we see improvement? If we see that, I think I'd be willing to give it a go.
Look, I know I say this every episode, unless we can find a top coach, I'm not opposed to giving him another year because I feel like this is the first time we've actually had a coach that we're half confident in and actually letting them have, a couple seasons to build something. Yeah. Dave's an exception. But
well, that's going to be the question, I guess, in that, what we can't have.
We're never confident in Dave in the first place.
But what we can't have is a repeat of Zdrella, Zadkovic and Garcia in that we've given an assistant turned head coach another chance and it hasn't turned out well. So, I mean, if we're going to give Griff another chance, hopefully it's different, but we'll see how it goes. We might as well touch on the fan comments.
Oh, yippee.
Sorry, just for Susnya.
Overseas, Serbia?
Yeah, he's playing in the Uzbekistanian Super League for a team that isn't even on FOTMob.
Oh.
So that's kind of says enough about that. But he did start the last game and he was given a yellow card. Oh. Well done to you, lad.
Every day's a school day.
I hope you're happy with yourself.
Fair enough. All right, comments. Instagram. Let's start with all things Perth Glory.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Oh. Man, I love Tavia's balls. It was a much more enjoyable point than the Brisbane game. The fight at the end to try and get 3 points, collar rage baiting and Diddlitzer debut. All positives. However, Sutton and Taggart, yikes.
Oh, come on. Leave the poor bloke alone. He didn't come on for that long. Oh, leave him alone. Which Sutton as well? Who's he talking about?
He just said Sutton.
Can't be Matt. He put some blinders. I get there a couple of goals, maybe the two of those goals. But some of the saves Matt made.
Yeah, he made some really nice saves.
Oh, my word. They were insane.
Simon, he said Collar the clear man of the match.
I disagree.
Okay. Thanks, Alex. Anyway.
Next question.
Yeah.
Brad. Okay, result. We are lucky to have Kaltak and stoked he scored his first for us. Collar is the rage-baiting final boss. Keen to see more of Labib up the pitch. Bring on the Knicks.
There's a particular comment here I'm waiting for because I read it.
On Insta?
I was like, that's a funny
Matt,
thing.
he said, definitely some shoots of green, although I still think we're fairly one-dimensional with two of the worst teams in the comp this season back-to-back. The optimist in me still wants to believe we can push for finals. Diddlitzer looks a player too.
Yeah.
Simon, he said, Newcastle are happy with us. They stay on top. The boys need to show this level of fight They needed to show this level of fight against the Jets and the Wanderers weeks ago when it mattered.
Yep.
Just stop getting my hopes up with a win against Wellington and bottle it again the week after. Eggs and tea. Oh, this might be the one, Will. Old Tags would have put that shot in and won it for us.
No, not that one.
Oh, okay. Okay, so then it's this one then.
Yeah.
I mean, he probably would have, yes, but
yeah,
that's harsh
but also
to
like
penalise him
it's
for that.
harsh.
West Force memes.
Yeah, this is it.
Do Glory fans like trusting the process? Do you like forever builds? Well, we have a coach for you. In brackets, Simon Cron, the builder, the Eric Ten Hag of the Western Force. Will you trade Cron, the builder, for Griffo the Lion?
We've reached the point as a podcast where we've now got we've got super rugby fan accounts commenting on our shit, and I love it, bro. Who the fuck is Cron the builder?
So
I have no idea.
the Western Force have been in like limbo in terms of like being
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, being good enough to win games, but not quite good enough to win the whole thing since like the last 15 years. I think it's been crazy. Like that's hence that comment.
Yeah.
I read that and I was like, damn, it's just kind of it's just a Perth team thing. I think like the Dockers are kind of there, we're there, Force are there, the Eagles
Can't
are
really
just
say the
shy.
Wildcats can.
The
you?
Wildcat. I mean,
No.
they are now because
Yeah.
they're in the finals, but they're not good enough to win the whole thing.
Scorchers
But
obviously won the whole thing.
Yeah, to be
It's
fair.
a cycle.
Yeah, but like some teams are stuck
We're
in the
stuck
cycle
in a
forever.
vicious cycle.
Yeah, Perth's just stuck here forever.
Here we go. Twitter. Now, I don't think you'll like this one, Will. JNB91. As a neutral, the drop-off from Taggart this season has been incredible to watch. He offered next to nothing once he came on. I look forward to hearing him being defended yet again on the podcast when it drops. Good to see Labib and Diddlitzer get some time, albeit not much.
Right. Okay. right. You got me really angry now.
I just want to interrupt. Like, I love Tags, but I sent a highlight reel of Tags stats.
Yeah, we
season,
saw,
and
buddy.
I forgot. Like,
Yeah, we made a cameo on that. didn't we?
I can't keep defending him. Like, I forgot how good he was, and like,
Let's give the time to Will.
Sorry, nothing.
Yeah,
So
you
Will,
shut
it's-
your mouth. Right.
Sorry.
Okay. Oh, bad, James, bad. Who would you start, like, after what we've seen now in the squad? I'm not saying that this is an excuse for him because, right, I get he's not playing to his best of his abilities, but in terms of the quality we have at striker, what we've now taken him off, right? Collar's been good,
Yeah.
but who would you now play as that second striker?
Do you want a serious answer?
Viva Albania.
You want a serious answer?
Who?
Okay,
A
serious.
serious answer is Adam Taggart.
No, a serious answer would be probably right now JK, but as a bit of a piss take, but kind of hear me out. I think
Get off.
Gabby would offer a little bit more.
Gabby!
Than,
Gabby!
I said, did you want a serious answer or a non-serious?
I was
The
going to
serious-
Soleimani, not
the serious
Gabby.
one was JK. The non-serious is Gabby.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Are you off your head?
You know, just hold on.
You're saying you'd rather start Gabriel Popovich over Adam Taggart.
Hold on. I told you that there was a serious answer. That was JK.
Fair, but he hasn't done much since he's done it.
But the reason, as a bit of a piss take, and it's sorry, Gabby, but it's like we would be getting a little bit more in terms of work rate off the ball with Gabby, and if we were going to long ball, he's at least someone that's going to jump and win.
If we're talking about
Win a
work
header
rate,
to who? He's going to head it back to the other
he's going to
goalkeeper.
he's going to head it to himself, bro.
Yeah, he's going to head it down to his feet and boot it.
It's something. I know it's not great,
But if we're
it's,
talking about off-the-ball work rate, how have you just skipped over Soleimani for Gabriel Popovich?
because I know you'd want to have Soleimani in the
No
team.
shit!
That's the obvious answer.
There's a very fucking obvious reason for that.
And I apologise, Alex, for not asking Griff at the time, why is Soleimani not in the team? There's the obvious football reasons, but my friend Alex here would like to know why he's not
James,
in the team.
that has got to be the worst take I've
But
ever heard.
I did give myself a little bit of a rope in saying that it was a non-serious take. But JK, I think in the meantime, he's at least been offering more, and he was chasing shadows against Auckland for the most part. But I felt that he was offering more, and it's just disappointing with tags that. And it'll lead into a broader discussion point about how we move the ball and the chances that we create. But it's like his only chance of that game being a Hail Mary, inshallah, shot from the edge of the box where Diddlitzer came on for his debut and actually looked a little bit threatening. There's problems with just how we attack in general that it almost doesn't matter who you have at striker, which is what I'm saying.
Okay, but that's ridiculous.
I'm not
doesn't matter,
far
but-
off from saying give Diddlitzer a start, bro. I'm not
But that's the thing. It almost is at that point where it's like, why not? It was like, well, how long was he on for? Like 5 minutes?
5 minutes. He looked pretty good.
Have we actually this season started Collar next to Tags yet, though?
Not started.
No. We haven't.
Not as a strike
I
partnership.
feel like we should give that a go.
You think?
No. Because it's a proven partnership, but as well,
Didn't we had that in the second half?
I
though?
love Kucharski, but for some reason he just can't start. I don't know. Like he's just better as a super sub.
No, but I don't think that this fucking leading striker position's the best thing for him. I don't know why we're persisting with it, because he's a player that's best when on the ball. Taggart's the kind of player that's going to give you those really good movements, or at least Taggart, when he's at his best, is that player that doesn't need to be on the ball as much. He's going to give you those really good movements in and around the box, find the space, get the shot off. Yeah. That's Adam Taggart's strength. Kucharski's a player that needs to be on the ball. He's more dangerous when he's on the ball. Same with Collar. Collar's best at making runs in behind. Taggart's best at being a fox in the box. Kucharski needs to get on the ball. We're not allowing Kucharski enough time to get on the ball or enough opportunities to get on the ball.
Can I just interrupt about this as well? So the reason that Taggart's on the bench, right, is because he wasn't finishing his chances.
Not 100% the reason why. Because he's not... Well, he's been recovering from injuries. So he's had the groin issue. He's had the heel problem. He's not been able to get consistently high-level performance in training. Yeah. And that was something that Griff flagged to us at the time. Fair. Yeah. And it's not like this isn't new information. It's like it's a fact that Tags has had injuries this season.
For sure.
So that's no doubt.
And that's definitely had some impact.
Clearly. And with Griff using training, performance and training as a barometer to measure who deserves to be in the team versus who doesn't, if Tags hasn't been getting those consistent weeks of training back to back, we don't know where we're at from the side. But if he's not impressing Griff enough or not doing enough in training or not able to get those minutes because he's not fully fit just yet, then that has to be considered. Yeah. So, and then it's just by power of deduction that someone like JK is.
I get that, but can you guys think particularly in terms of the amount of chances that Tags was getting? Granted, he didn't score many of them, but yet he was getting in those areas to get the shots off in the first place. With the replacements we've put up instead of him, we're not getting those same chances or same close, should have scored that one type of chances.
Because the issue is further like I said before, I'll talk about it later, but I was having a good debate, shout out with Tom Sato. I was having a good debate about it in terms of our profiles on the ball. Because it's like if you compare Auckland and how they progress the ball, when we look at progressive players, and because I've a number of times this season, and it's been a little bit harsh, I understand this point, but I've criticised our midfielders for lacking a fair bit of ability on the ball with their passing.
That's fair though.
So you look at Verstraete, you look at Galagos, you look at Brimmer. Those three guys are very good on the ball. Their progressive passing numbers are excellent. Their ability to break lines, long balls, whatever you want, awesome.
Yeah, I mean, they're all senior players, so you'd expect that.
Freeney, okay, but even still about profile and player, because it's not really Freeney or Bozanovsky or Debreu's game to be playing those progressive kind of passes. Bozanovsky was kind of more inclined to do those passes, but if you look at the numbers about other players, it's not that great. And so if you can't build the ball out from the back consistently, like we tried to do in the game, but couldn't do it consistently, that's why there was that complete dominance that Auckland had. And that's why you're also not going to sustainably and reliably create chances for Tags if Lawrence isn't playing.
But I will just say, I just think also the reason Taggart is getting those chances is because he's a better striker. Sure, he's finishing boots.
His movement in the box when he's on his day is the best in the A-League.
Exactly, and that's why we're seeing those chances he was getting. We haven't seen those oh my gosh, we should have scored those chances ever since he's been on the bench. Because those balls coming in, those nothing balls that come in, he does something with it. He might not finish his dinner, but he gets there and he gets his foot on the ball.
As we've said from the start, it's environment. He's having to operate in a crap environment, and even under his driller, it was a crap environment because our ability to progress the ball as a team, here we go, the nerd here, but statistically it's one of the worst in the league. And that's why any marker that you want to use can support that argument.
Yeah, I'm not defending Tags and saying he should be rewarded with a start guaranteed every week, but in terms of what we have, in terms of what
you'd be wanting to get the most out of Tags, obviously.
Yeah, if in terms of what Griffo's style, JK is not the kind of striker.
He's not the answer.
No, Taggart is the exact kind of striker Griffo wants. Someone who moves off the ball, and then you can use Collar as kind of like a playmaker or Tom Lawrence, and then you give Taggart the chance to score. Yep. That's the exact kind of striker Griffo wants, and that's the best for this system.
I will say this as well. No, I still think Adam Taggart is our best striker. Well, I still believe that. What I do want to say, though, is that next season, if we're going into it with the mindset that Adam Taggart is going to be our starting striker, he needs to be the guy that we look to, you're going to have to build a hell of a front three around him. Because my criticism of the fact that Adam Taggart hasn't been doing enough is based off of the fact that we're not creating for him. Hence, he's useless when we don't create for him, because we have players that are better at pressing. We have players that are better, that are quicker, that are better at sort of creating chances for other players around them. You know, in a scenario like we just had, where you have Collard that was doing really well, you have Luca Tavia that was doing well. When we get someone like Tom Lawrence back, when you have JK that you can also put into that front four as well, you have to sort of look at it and say, okay, who am I dropping for Tags here? Because I do think that Tags should be our starting striker still. And I think that going into next season, he will be our starting striker.
He better be.
But you have to look at it and say, okay, if we're going to have Tags as our guy next season, you need to have a really good 10 to help create those chances. You need to have two good wingers that are able to create those chances. And in my opinion, you need to add a deep line playmaker to the squad.
Because let's put it this way, right? Auckland, as I was sort of alluding to before, their progression numbers were awesome. But even if you go far back to Popper's season where we won the plate, you had reliable sources of progression through Jason Davidson, Juande, Neil Kilkenny, and Castro. So you had that diversity of progressing the ball either through out wide.
What we thought we...
but that's the thing. You had the progression from out wide, progression in the midfield, and then Castro could float wherever.
Apologies, viewers. We had a bit of a technical difficulty there. But we're moving on to
missed an all-time James moment, though.
You will never
see it because it was
very
it was going to be edited out, but you missed an all-time James moment. Oh, wow.
So we've done J and B 91. So yeah, Will was not happy with that.
No.
James Marin, actually not sure what to say. Could have easily been 3-0 down in the first half and could have easily won 3-2 with that Taggart shot at the end of the game. Rather confused overall on where that performance came from, but oh well, we'll take the point.
Yep.
PGFC enjoyer, Luca Tavia is a quality player. We finally got ourselves a good signing from the NPL. Almost one of the almighty smash and grab results, but take a point. We've got to smash the yellow sheepshaggers next week if we want any chance at top 6.
I will say this. Luca Tavia being as good as he is makes me wonder why the hell Hiroki Ayayama was so bad last season. Like, genuinely.
It's all about profile.
David Zrillik.
True.
Fair enough. Absolutely.
Fair point. He's trying to play as a double pivot.
I think
6'7".
Dave made every single player look bad.
He really did. It's quite a special talent.
Yep.
Agent Dave.
Muller.
Hello.
Gutsy showing,
I
but
think that's supposed to say gutsy, but it says gusty.
yeah, gusty. Yeah, okay. Well, gutsy showing, but table-wise probably not enough. Tavia, Collar, and Caltac huge. Felt the ref whistle went before their second went in. Please explain the formation we ended with and who was playing where. Lawrence is out for the season, isn't he? But we're being kept from the truth.
I expect Lawrence will probably be back by Melbourne City.
He'll be back from Melbourne City.
It's just they wanted to be precautionary.
Not even Wellington.
Can we actually explain what we played with in the end there? Because from what I saw, it was same back four.
Still a 4-4-2.
Yep, still 4-4-2, but it was the same back four that we started with.
Yeah.
The DMs were Pennington.
I think it was
Pennington and
Rizzo.
Pennington and Rizzo.
Yeah.
Yep. Left wing was
Labib.
Jab.
Yeah.
Jab on left wing. Right wing was Osler, and then the front two was Tags and Diddlitzer.
Some football manager, bro. Like,
why did Labib not look that bad when he came on?
Hey,
he actually looked
What is Griff saying? What's the vision?
I would love to know.
Maybe like an overlapping fullback kind of role and a 5-back, like run up and down. Could you imagine?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I mean, we've been calling for him to start at right back. I mean, we have been doing.
Hey,
that.
if he's 2-footed, I won't say no.
Lachlan, he said, didn't watch a whole lot of the game, thought we should have been 3-0 down at halftime, but thought we ended quite well. Yes, we sat back, but we didn't just choose to soak pressure and then eventually concede when we didn't win it there. Was a bit of hunger to get forward. Okay.
Cold.
Pockle, my glorious 6'7" king needs to be on the pod.
It's true.
We'll see what we can do about that.
I'm back.
For the 60. Shut up.
I'm back.
Pockle's welfare check on Pockle now that Alex is back. But anyway, Tom Salo, the most inexplicable "can we play you every week" of all time.
Literally, bro.
I think we're the only team in the league this season so far to go undefeated against Auckland in a season.
Yeah, we are.
The only team.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, we have. Wow.
Not even this season, mate.
Like of all
it's
time.
2-1-1. We won 2, lost 1, drawn 1.
Yes.
So we're beating them head to head, which is crazy. I think we're the only team beating them head to head. I think.
Yeah.
In terms of results.
I think Western United.
Our head is bigger than yours. Our head's bigger than yours.
Yeah. Stumpy. Commentators were saying good on Griffiths for playing with 4 attackers in the last few minutes when we had Labib at left wing and Risen at centre mid. Team still looks like a shadow of what it did with Lawrence, Bozza and co. Daniel Fieldgate, et al. And others.
Yeah, I know, James.
I think he went on loan to Vietnam, did he not?
Okay. Right.
James, not a word from you. Okay.
No.
It never happened.
Daniel Fieldgate.
Yes.
Good fight, but the same problems. We showed some character to come back, but structurally it was the same issues again. No real pressing identity. Way too easy to play through in midfield. Slow build-up and every turnover looking dangerous because our rest defence is nowhere to be seen. Ewan Gray. Has there ever been a lower moment than seeing 34-year-old Josh Risdon being subbed on to play left wing whilst there's a very suitable and A-League capable attacker not getting a look in the squad?
Sula.
Yeah.
Korean barbecue. Well, it was actually refreshing to register a shot on target this week.
I had Korean barbecue 2 days ago.
Did you?
Yeah, 3 actually.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Yes.
Osler, he had the volley.
Jeez, that would have been nice.
Yeah, well. Anyway, can we get some thoughts on the game?
We already did this.
Yeah.
But it got cut out.
Thoughts on the lineup?
Yeah, so Freeney.
I was very happy.
Yeah, so Diabreu, yep, out, and then Will Freeney in.
Will Freeney. No, I was seeing that at the shops today.
Hey?
I was at Big W
Oh, right.
with my girlfriend, and I was just scanning all the things. For some reason, it came to face, so I was just going, Will Freeney. Will Freeney.
Did you actually see him?
Yeah, I was just walking around the shops going, Will Freeney. Will Freeney.
He didn't see him in the
No, I
shots,
just started singing the
Yeah,
chant.
you just wanted to bring up he has a girlfriend.
No, it's... Okay, right. But no, because...
Are you just trying to bring up that you don't? Like,
No, she calls him Will Feeney.
Wait, so
Hey.
Yeah.
did you say hi to him?
He wasn't...
he wasn't
He
there.
wasn't
Josh!
there. No, he
I was
just-
just started
he
singing
just-
the song.
I swear you just said you saw him.
No,
he just started
I said I went to
singing.
I was at the shops today, and I was just like in my own head scanning the stuff, and I just went, Will Freeney.
I was at the shops the other
day.
But we were otherwise, were we okay with the lineup? I know you weren't happy that Soleimani wasn't on the bench.
Yes.
But that's just a standard point at this rate. Yeah.
It's the best we had, other than putting Tackett.
James, I feel
lineup.
like I'm getting counselling right now. You with your fucking pen like, writing notes.
Hey?
So, were you okay with the lineup?
Yeah. Tell me what you feel, Will. Tell me what you really feel.
Rage.
Sorry. Pissed off.
365 days a year, 24/7. Because I am Batman.
25/8/367 rage.
Nothing but rage.
So there's no other thoughts on the lineup, is there?
Well, I think it's the best we could have done.
Yeah.
I think there's a question whether or not Diabro starts next week. I don't think he does. I think he needs to be kind of not... Look, I don't think this will happen because Griff seems to love him too much, but like he needs to kind of be
punished.
He needs to be put in the naughty corner.
Because you're on a yellow card suspension watch, and then you just keep like, dude, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Fair
It's
enough.
it's not stupidity. It's clearly a sign of a lack of maturity.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, he's very good at it, but when you get it wrong, why? Getting 5 yellow cards in the amount of time he's gotten them is kind of mental.
Yeah.
It is a very, very quick way to get 5 yellow cards, especially the way he's done it. A lot of them quite preventable.
Yep.
Just, going 2-footed in, going, right, let's have it, lads.
Yeah.
Like, it's... So it's very good, but apart from that, I hope for the same lineup next week, to be honest. I would hope for the same.
I would want...
Except Tackett on instead of JK.
I was going to say, I would want a little change, and my change would be I would prefer to have Penno with Freeney in the double
middle.
pivot.
Jeez, yes.
I would like to have Penno and Freeney there. Off the left, I would like to see Collar.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer to see Collar actually starting out on the wing for this game, to be honest.
Really? Not a striker?
Look, I think you can start either Collar or JK at left wing. Like, my front four is going to be Tavir, Collar, JK tags.
Yeah, of course.
That's going to be my front four. Whether you start JK on left wing or whether you start Collar on left wing, I don't really mind. I'm just thinking more so that Wellington aren't the best from defending from wide areas. If you have sort of JK operating as a bit more of a 10 in the pocket and allow tags to actually float around in the box, I think Collar could get some really good space on the left-hand side. And also, Tavir just has to start.
Oh, wow. I just saw
it's
a 10 a.m. kickoff.
Yeah.
Again,
Another one.
Back to back.
I actually really enjoyed that.
It's not
Having
too
a
bad.
If I
10 a.m.
wasn't
kickoff
working,
on
I would have...
Sunday.
I mean, to be fair, it's on a Saturday, so I can definitely go watch that.
Was
not
it
bad,
10
though.
a.m. on Sunday?
10 a.m.
Saturdays.
This
Saturday.
one's 10 a.m. Saturday. That'd be really nice.
Okay.
No, sorry, Josh.
That's all right. I'm just... Okay. Yeah, no, I thought it was good.
Yeah, Cole.
Thanks, mate.
Right.
We get all things Perth Glory back on.
Shout out to Brian Kaltak, made his 100th appearance.
Yes. Well done.
Yeah, well done. Not for us though.
Shout out to the Freeneys. They got on the Paramount Plus TV
Yep.
stream. Yeah,
So it's just not the same level of achievement, to be honest. Like, well done.
It's
But
just
also,
there.
you know, I'd argue getting on the TV is a bit more important than 100 appearances.
Yeah. So it was not looking good, Brev, from the first 10 minutes of the game.
No, we got thunder blasted.
Yes.
Like in the first 5 minutes.
Yes.
That was literally a repeat of last week's goal.
In part,
Adelaide,
Close,
yeah.
No,
pretty
Brisbane.
close.
Brisbane.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
yes.
it wasn't a
Brizzy.
set piece, but it was still pretty much the same.
No,
Yeah.
but it was still.
That reminded me a lot of the Craig Goodwin goal.
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
same sort of like.
Yeah.
But it
area.
was the defending for it, because Griff, if you were watching the game live at the time, you would have heard him go absolutely mental.
He did, yes.
at half. As they were kicking off again.
I had the first 15 minutes of the game on before I left for work,
Yep.
and that's when I just kind of went, okay, I'm not.
That was our defending. You can't blame Sutton.
He was
no,
defending.
no, it's not Sutton's fault at all.
He couldn't
No.
see it because there was the
Absolutely
Freeney
awful
tried to
defending.
fucking send it into Rosette, and then it didn't work.
It just didn't at all.
just
Yeah.
sliced it. But then we gave him too much space. How many goals are we going to concede at the edge of the box?
Look, this is the problem. I think
That's the big question.
I
for me.
think a lot of we have quite an experienced defense, right? In terms of A-League experience, they've been around for a little while.
all of them have 100 appearances. Bar
Yes.
Shamoon.
So I have a theory about this defense, right? And we'll say Cal in starting the midfield, right? Obviously, and
Yeah.
I think we have a mixture of problems defensively. Like, we're normally quite solid.
Yep.
I think we have a problem defensively with two things, right?
Go on.
One of them is youth,
Yep.
like with Will, and when you play something like with Jab, we saw he kind of just lunged in for that with Adelaide.
Yep.
Was it Adelaide?
Yes.
Yeah, we have some problems there, and Diabru and stuff like that. Just young people making mistakes, which is excusable. The other thing I think, and you're all willing to disagree with me on this, it's just something I was thinking about the other day. I think these defenders have been around for so long, they're used to the quality of the A-League being so bad that players can't shoot from that far out and score, so they don't think they need to worry about closing them down. Because in the days of old, I would not have worried about anyone other than maybe a select 5 people shooting from that distance.
To a point, yes, but then with Griff being like so anal about defensive positioning and structure and where you've got to be.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not on Griff.
But more so like in our context for our defenders.
Yeah.
It's like I can't buy that. I just think we just fell asleep.
That's fair, but do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean, yeah.
Brian has been around long enough to be like, oh, he can't do
and it's
that.
like, what's he doing?
And Woods has been around long
I'd
enough
have
to
to
go,
get-
oh, that's, yeah.
I'd have to get the stats, but surely we be the team who's conceded the most amount of goals outside the box.
Must be.
We'd be up there, sure.
Because we
have
just
to
keep, which is also just so frustrating because they're just so preventable.
Yep.
All you have to do is get in front of the ball. It's so frustrating.
So much so that after we kicked off, Griff, you could literally hear yelling,
The commentator,
block the fucking shot.
Yeah.
And I made sure to write that down in all capitals.
the
because we could
commentators
all
were
hear
saying,
that.
oh, sorry, folks, if you could hear Griff over the mic there, we do apologise. You're clearly not happy.
But it fed into a broader point for me that I just felt our intensity in the game was shit.
Yeah.
I just felt, and that's why I wrote down our PPDA was one of the worst that it was this season.
Yeah, our PP does suck,
again, so basically, again, as a simplified point, it means that we've allowed Auckland to have 23 passes before there was a defensive intervention.
He's doing the thing. He's
23
doing the
passes.
nose thing.
23.
So that's what it means.
Outrageous.
If it's a 23 PPDA, that means you're allowing 23 passes before there's a defensive action.
I love that so much.
I love just how it's just dropped cataclysmically the last few months.
I wonder why that is.
I want to know why.
Tom Lawrence.
No, but like our defensive intensity.
No, but I'm not talking about intensity. I'm talking about we have less of the ball because we have less time on the
That
ball.
is true.
So I think that's why, because we're soaking up so much pressure
Yeah.
instead of going for the ball. Whereas with Tom, we'd have so much more time on the ball instead of having to defend for our lives half the time.
Yep.
I'll be so happy when we get Tom back, man.
Seriously. Also, I think there was a bit of a problem because Bozza was quite invisible that game.
Sorry? Oh, yeah. And so what about the Perth Glory captain?
Perth Glory captain, honestly, he's born for the role, but he should have blocked the shot. But yeah, Bozza needs to do better there. But then he got subbed on again later on in the game.
Yeah.
So that was
I'm
good.
surprised we didn't see Gabriel Popovic as well.
Yeah, for context, I was I just had breakfast, like a late brunch, whatever.
Fair enough.
And I open my phone,
Yeah.
and then I see Bozanovsky's coming on. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
thought
but he was in the starting lineup as well.
Yeah,
as Boswellski
on the
starting
on the Paramount graphics, Scott Wotton's name was
Perth
Glory captain.
And then who was it Tevere or Tavia was Boswellski?
Yeah,
on the lineup.
yeah.
Right. I just want to say, Paramount Plus, you're a disgrace.
Rest in peace of that one intern.
We always say, oh wow, I wish more people would take the A-League seriously, and then we just get this shit. Could you imagine turning on a Premier League game
and seeing
turning on a Premier League game, and then let's say you're watching fucking Man City. You're watching Man City, and then all of a sudden you see that Ruben Diaz's name has been changed to Man City captain, and Savinho is listed as Riyad Mahrez.
Yeah, or Jack Grealish or something like that.
Like, it's like watching a Liverpool game and you see Alexander-Arnold coming on.
Yeah.
We remember.
Yeah. The warning lights. No, it was panic stations for about 10 minutes afterwards, because that's when I think Auckland had like 3 shots in a row where they probably should have scored. There was the one. So there was the first one was Guillermo May getting played in behind by Cosgrove, because they kept on going down their left-hand side and just exploiting us to shit. May had that shot that flashed across the box.
Yep.
Then you had Glory trying to build out from the back. Timmins has the ball taken off of him. And that's when Cosgrove, I think he won the ball. Then he gave it to Guillermo May. And then he gave it to Rogerson. And then thank fuck for us that the ball just decided to bobble up.
Yeah.
And then that was when he volleyed it into row triple Z.
I will say Guillermo May did not have a good game. I saw some Auckland fans genuinely calling for that man to get the brazen ball.
We'll see that one with Jesse Randall later on.
To be honest,
I'll touch on that one.
out of all Auckland's players, I've never really rated May.
I think he's good. I think he just had an awful game.
Yeah,
an awful game.
Yeah, he's technical. He's got good close control. He can create, but some of his decision making in and around the box this game, fucking hell, we were lucky.
Yeah, I may rate him if he. Never mind.
Sure.
I was just gonna say I may rate him if he knew how to pass better, because his last name's May. I was like, I may rate him more if he just
cringe. Okay.
Why do you make everything worse, Alex?
He's just sitting there.
I know.
I do rate. I know. Cosgrove though. I definitely underrated him when they signed him. Like, I thought he was going to be pants.
He's a fucking pest though. I mean, he's a good player, but well, shut up.
I didn't say anything.
Pay attention.
Shut up.
Because we're now about to talk about Glory's best chance of the first half before the goal.
Boo.
Because we built out well.
James, stop hitting the.
Oh yeah, that better not have cut out. Okay, we're good. We're good. So it was Will Freeney.
Yeah.
He received the ball from Caltech.
The Fiend.
And that's when he found Timmins. And then that's when we managed to get the overload against Auckland. We played some good football that led to Kolakowski having the volley. Probably should have hit the target. But, I mean, we haven't seen that enough this season, that kind of football where we moved it through the thirds on the ground. Because we're more than capable of doing it. It just pisses me off that we can't. So, yeah, but either way, it was good that Caltech, again, congrats on the 100 games, the corner from Tavia.
He finally did it.
So this was the thing.
Finally.
Griff was telling us that Caltech had been scoring more headers in training, and it was like, surely he's going to get a moment. And he did. It was just one of the most funkiest corner deliveries from Luka Tavia.
Funky's a word.
Yeah, well, how else would you describe it?
Shite.
Okay.
I can't remember where I saw this, but someone on social media said, I like the commentator saying that Brian Caltech was left unmarked. No, he wasn't. Yeah. He's just a big freight train of a person. You can't hold him back.
Dan Hall was just
think of a better A-League defender than Brian Caltech.
I can think of a few.
There's a few.
I can think of a few.
Miranda. Yeah.
Oh my. You just said Roderick Miranda is better than fucking Brian Caltech.
2026, by the way.
This fucking guy.
Are you serious?
Not right now.
Who do you?
No, not right now.
This guy's about to tell me that Leo Lacroix is in his fucking all-time 11.
No.
Oh yeah, William Gallas. Not right now, but
Lacroix's last season was ass.
That's why I made that.
Was saying I mean, Auckland probably have.
There's a few defenders in the A-League that I would probably take over.
Serious.
Juan Mata and at the 6.
Well, I'm talking centre backs. Will.
It's a joke.
Name one, Alex.
Name 10 centre backs. Name 10 centre backs.
Current A-League centre back who's better than Brian Caltech.
Are we talking just like this season?
Yes.
Okay.
Current.
In terms of this season, I'm going to go with, I can't pronounce his name, but the Irish centre back for Shaughnessy. Yeah. I'm taking Shaughnessy. I'm probably taking Natta as well. In terms of other centre backs, maybe even Tisserand. I'd maybe take Tisserand from Sydney.
This season, Caltech.
Tisserand, yeah. I think there's a good case to take him over Caltech.
What about Girdwood Roke or Daniel Hall?
No.
Daniel Hall's
I
don't think they're better than Caltech.
Caltech, I think, in terms of like redemption arcs this season, has been one of the best.
Oh, he's had a really good response to his poor start. I'm just saying that there are some better centre backs in the league.
I feel like
Alex Grant. Yeah, probably
Alex Grant.
But just on the header though, fair due to him, because as we've said before, how many times have we come away from particularly a home game where it's like if Caltech had that one header that he puts away,
he finally just
and it's like he finally got it. So fair play to him. Any other thoughts on the goal or
kick Giannis, another one?
Right
on
kick your ass.
Thoughts on the goal?
It was a goal.
Anything else?
Like it was refreshing to see.
It was nice to get a jammy one, as if we don't get those every other week with own goals and Pennington worldies. But
Yes. Credit to Woods as well for the sort of contest in the box, allowing that ball to get through. I don't think it was intentional to allow the ball to get through untouched, but good to see a bit of contest in there. Luca Tavia with his first assist for the club, really nice.
I think it's just one of those goals where it's like it's nothing particularly special, but it still took a team to make that go in. Like you have to be sharp enough and on the ball enough to get there first and cause enough havoc in the box to make that ball get there in the first place. So you can't say it's a bad goal, but it's not the best I've ever seen. So
it wasn't a good goal, but it was nice.
There was as you were alluding to before, Will, with Guillermo May and his shitty decision making.
Yes.
So I like that we tried to build out, but I just think our execution left a lot to be desired. There was a moment where Freeney received the ball and then got absolutely swamped. Dispossessed. Guillermo May, it would have been the easiest thing to do. Slide in Jesse Randall. He's been
across.
One of the best attackers this season. I mean, he's obviously he'd be up there in a golden boot race, surely.
Yeah, close, but he's off to Dundee.
Either way,
he's probably the best young attacking option in the league right now.
And it's like he's in a great position. You play him through one-on-one, he's probably going to finish it. But it was the most P-roller shit fart of a shot that I've seen from a player like Guillermo May, who's
Jesse
on his day on his day is a good player, but you could literally see as the camera was going past Guillermo for his reaction, you could just see Jesse Randall losing his shit,
losing his mind.
So which is
fair enough.
And we clearly did ride our luck in the first half again, no shit. But sometimes you do kind of need that luck. I was surprised that we even made it to halftime. I think we might have had a marginally higher XG than Auckland.
We did, because of that Caltech.
I was going to say just because Brian had like a.
Actually, I don't think we did. I don't think we did, if I remember correctly, because the Caltech
might have been 30. It might have been 30 to 20 or something.
No, we were 0.38 and they were point something.
I thought they were 0.2 or something. Either way, doesn't matter. But the point is that we were lucky, but there were a few red flags for me that Auckland at halftime, they had won 70% of all of their duels. So that headers or on the ground, they were just dominating us. And it was like, what can Griff do, so to speak, in terms of trying to find an edge over Auckland? Because we just couldn't get any rhythm on the ball and we found it difficult to progress through the thirds. And it took us until half an hour to actually start getting some shots off, be it collar or the header from Caltech.
So here's the thing, even if Tag scored that last goal, I still wouldn't walk away from that game feeling like, yes, I've seen enough from this team. There's just too many holes.
I don't think there's anything that I can see from this team for the rest of the season to have me thinking that this is enough, to be honest, because we've seen that
they've had opportunities to prove that.
Yeah, we had 3 or 4 weeks where we thought that this is enough, and it very clearly turned out that was a purple patch and that it hasn't been replicatable since.
I can see a world where we get Tom back and we get a front four of Collar, JK, Tags and Lawrence, and that is just...
And then we have...
That sounds just...
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Do what Mariners do and just win games back to back and finals.
I'd love to do what the Mariners do and just win games.
It's astonishing to me that this season, not once have we had at the start of the season, we all did our best teams on paper, right?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see once Bozza and Amos in the midfield starting together. Not once did we see our best on paper starting front four of Wales, Lawrence, Tags, and Kaczarski.
Yep.
So it's like I give a bit of credence to Griff in a sense, because it's like you look at a team like Newcastle or Auckland, they all have their best players available
all the time.
Yet we've got one of the biggest injury lists currently in the A-League.
Yeah.
Even every episode.
And even with Newcastle, they're mixed. They've got Alex Battleado out for the rest of the season, who was by far their best player before he got injured.
Yep. And then you
need to be able to operate without one or two good players.
But that's the thing; they've got that much of a good enough team that they can move the ball into those dangerous areas, that they can account for Lockie Rose missing those chances.
That's true, but like, I know the gap between Tom Lawrence, someone like Lawrence and Tavia is bigger than the gap between Battleado and Will Dobson. But you take Battleado, who was their best player beforehand, on track to win the Golden Boot, having to swap him out for an unproven academy talent.
Yeah.
And doing phenomenally. They've now won 9 games in a row.
Fucking hell, fair play to them.
They drew to the Mariners. They're undefeated. They haven't won 9.
But either way, it doesn't matter. That's
still very good. Yeah. I mean, I think the other side of it too is that their squad on paper isn't very good, in my opinion.
There's not a lot of headline players.
No, like if you told me maybe this time a year ago or 2 years ago that Eli Adams would be considered a great player up top, I would have looked at you like you're an idiot, because he was just not. He got released, didn't he? Like
from Victory.
Yeah, like he just.
If you would have told me that Mark Natter was on the verge of a move to a Champions League club, Eli Adams would be one of the standout players in the league.
I don't think it's about talent with them. I genuinely think the way that they play football makes other players better than they actually are. It raises their ceiling so much.
But it's their environment and that
play to the strengths.
Well, you look at they've got Burgess, technical player. They've got Bayless, technical player. Dobson, technical player. Battleado, Clayton Taylor, Eli Adams. They're all technical players where it's that well oiled, and because they're all fit and available, you can chuck anyone in there.
Newcastle's recruitment's been very smart since they got their new owners.
Well, it has, and that's Mark Milligan inherited a good team off of Rob Stanton.
Yes,
because of what the technical players that they had. Meanwhile, what Griff was inheriting was a team that had a lot of workman-like players, which could do well when we were sitting deep and defending and running around and all that. But when we're trying to evolve to that point, we're not there yet.
I don't even think we need that much to make this team, like, to bring it to another level. Like, if you get two more players like Collar, Tavia, but that actually suit the positions that we need, like natural wingers, I think it would make a world of a difference.
Yeah, as we were saying, you need a top deep line playmaker, and you need a really good winger that excels 1v1, has a bit of speed to him.
I have an idea.
And we don't. I'm saying we don't need another Tom Lawrence. Genuinely,
no, it's just you need to improve. We need to improve how we move the ball through the thirds, and there's only so much that coaching can do. Like Adam Griffiths isn't ways and can tell all the players like where to go and how to play football.
What do you call a bright red lump on someone's body?
A pimple.
Try again.
A bruise.
Try
Boil.
again. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
I mean, no.
He is leaving Hibs.
He is leaving
Hibs.
Yeah.
Dimi Petratos.
Boyle.
Oh, Boyle.
Yeah.
I feel like you could have had 10 better examples.
Of a good winger, like a deep.
No, of that. Okay, anyway.
Nah, but it's.
What do you do with your water before you put the pasta?
Yeah, sorry, James. We said last week in the podcast that if we signed Boyle, he'd score 1 goal under Griff's system.
But when did we say that Boyle?
No. We did say this. We said that you made a point that would it be fair to say that if you took teams or players from teams that are performing well and put them in our system, that they wouldn't perform as well? And I said, yes, if you bought Boyle in January, I don't think he scores more than 2 or 3 before the end of the season. That's what I said.
Yeah.
And I agree with that. What I do think, though, is that you can't bring in one player and overhaul the squad. You have to bring in 2 or 3 or 4.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You've got it.
Like, perfect example for me, personally, Ryan Fraser. Best player.
He'd be perfect.
In my opinion, since he's joined, he and Matt are on level with each other for being the best players in the league since he came in January. However, the Wanderers are still looking like shit because their team overall, even with Ryan Fraser, kind of sucks. And if you bring Boyle in, yes, it's going to fix some problems. We're going to get some output out of him, but it's it's only going to paper over the cracks of this team. It's only going to, you're putting a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. You know what I mean?
I don't think Boyle now would, because Boyle's been played as like a second striker recently.
Yeah.
He's not really, he doesn't have the legs to play. He doesn't have
Did
the speed
someone say
to play
Tags
anymore.
and Boyle?
Is
that what I'm
But
hearing?
the thing is, we keep signing these like second strikers. We need actual like,
Actual
I don't
wingers.
care
I
if they're
agree.
like 20 years old.
I
Like
agree.
You need wingers.
NPL,
Yeah.
Like we need actual.
No, you are
wingers.
right. You're absolutely. Look, I will say this: with the players that we have now, if you genuinely added to this team a very good level deep line playmaker and 2 really good wingers, I think you've got a lot going in the right direction for this team. Even if you brought in Boyle as a second striker, meaning that you can permanently move Kaczarski out to the right hand side, that's fine by me.
We're not getting Boyle.
No, I'm saying that in the occasion you brought in a player to be a second striker next to Tags, that's fine.
I don't know how much money we're going to have next season with how the calamity of how
We'll see. But either way, it's like I loved what Auckland had, because we touched on the second half, and that they had the luxury of being able to bring on was it Lockie Brook, Verstrada, and Brimmer?
Yeah.
Obviously, no shit, we don't have that. But you look at profile in terms of players that can move the ball from deeper positions into advanced areas.
Yeah.
We don't have that. We've got guys that if you play a long ball over the top every now and again in their space, they might work, but they're not going to be able to break through a defensive block. And that's what you were saying before, Will, about what are we going to do when we face up against a deep block?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't have the players to do that, then you're not going to get the outcomes as we saw this season where we had back-to-back 1-0 losses.
We're going to have a really hard decision to make at the end of the season, because we've got to bar Kolikovsky because he can play on the wing, but realistically we've got like 5 strikers. We've got to choose a couple that have to go.
I think the only ones I see getting kept around for next season are would probably be Tags, JK, and Sulla. Those are the only 3 I'd.
Not Lawrence.
I would be. Honestly, at this stage, I think there's a very good case that you can make for potentially not re-signing Lawrence for next season. If they do find out that this plantar fasciitis is going to be a continuous thing, if this is going to be something that's going on and on and on, I'm not keeping Lawrence around, because I'm not using a visa spot. I'm not using a visa spot on a player that we're going to get 10 games out of, because we have to manage him week on week, and one game he has to sit out. And, when we have these extended periods where we're away for 4 weeks, are we going to be flying him over for one game and then sending him back and then flying him back over? Like, there's no point of that. Exactly. Yeah. Like we've had this happen before with Sturridge, with Amos, just recently. We've had this before. We've had high quality visa players, come in, and while they're on the pitch, they're high quality, but are they really worth it when you're going to get 10 games out of them, maybe 10, 15 at most? Like, I'd rather just bring on... Look, Lawrence, for me, every game, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 most games, right?
Yeah.
Let's say, would you rather take 10 or 15, 8 or 9 out of 10 games from Lawrence, or would you rather take 25, 7 out of 10 games from another player? I'd rather just give that spot to... If we can't bring in anyone, I think we could, but if we can't bring in anyone, I'd rather just give the spot to someone like Tavia. Or
give the spot. But you can't build the team to solely rely on Lawrence so much. You've got Tavia who can play when he's
that's the thing, is that when you bring in a player on that kind of marquee money...
He's not really on...
He's on a
fair bit of coin.
If you bring in someone on a fair bit of coin like Lawrence is, you have to sort of build the team around them. You can't have Castro and not build the team around Castro. You can't have Taggart and not build the team around Taggart.
Would you consider a world where you don't renew either Tags or Lawrence?
I wouldn't consider...
If it gives you latitude to find your next 10 and your next striker for the next 3 years.
Jamie McLaren.
No, but here's the thing. If you can go out there and let's say you can do... Like, if you get rid of Tags and Lawrence, the only world you do that for me is if you can bring in a really high quality 9 and 10.
Obviously, that's the assumption.
If there's a world where you can go out and you can get me, you can do a double rate on Moen Bagan and get me, McLaren and Dimi Petratos, and you can get them on relatively
good coin
compared to where the possible 3 million hard cap is, then I genuinely consider it, because Petratos has had a decent injury record and a very good output
and McLaren
in India.
Has 4 goals in
exactly
the
four goals in the first game of the league season. He's still firing. He's still showing that he has the physical capabilities to keep up that sort of momentum that he had in the A-League. Yeah. And he's the same sort of profile to Tags in sort of that fox in the box player that we need.
Second half, there was...
It's fine. I got my clip. Move on.
So Cosgrove had that header, 46th minute, sorry. And then Howerson That was a really... So I hope Christos was watching that save from Matt Sutton. But
if that's even your real name.
pretty good effort from Howson, edge of the box. I thought he caught it very cleanly, but hey, Matt Sutton is a good goalkeeper. And then for Kolakovsky's goal, watch it
Copy and paste.
Hey?
Copy and paste.
What?
From the Newcastle game when Lawrence scored.
Honestly, not a bad shout at all. That's W ball knowledge.
Sort of similar, yeah. But I loved the. I loved how we built the ball out though. That's what I'm
just take the compliment, Josh.
No, it's not actually. Fuck you.
But how we move the ball, like watch it back a few passes where it's got all of our main midfielders involved, and it's just boom, 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 rather than oh crap, hoof the ball long. It's like no, keep it on the ground. Some brain dead defending from the Auckland players that I'm sure they'll be watching on replay going, fuck, that was pretty poor. Like Gemma running away and leaving an easy pass for Cal Timmins. But then Tavia is starting to show his quality. What a good find he's been.
Yeah.
And then, he ran through, suckered in the defender, played in collar. And the scenes afterwards.
He
suckered in the defenders. You fucking idiot. And then he plays in collar. And then it was a good goal.
It was great.
And then he wound up the fans well.
Yeah, he did. It was really good.
Yeah. 6-7.
Right. Thanks, James.
You're welcome.
Right.
I love
very good goal.
I understand why Collar and Sam Sutton were giving it to them with them. Sam Sutton especially being a Wellington boy.
Yeah.
I love how Collar was a Wellington player for no more than 3 months before he got injured.
Practically,
and he's going back. Not only did he do the original take with the 6-7 message running, he then turns back and does a double take. Yeah. He's like no.
Yeah.
Which then leads to Perth Glory Academy product Jake Brimmer having to be the one that comes over and diffuses the situation. And then that all gets put on the Instagram by Gareth, which was quite funny.
Yeah. Nice. Any other thoughts on the goal or no? Josh, any thoughts on it or any other thoughts?
It was just copy and paste from Lawrence's goal against Newcastle.
I wished Collar could have applied that finish in our previous game.
Yeah.
When he had a very similar chance.
Yep.
And he decided to try and pass it.
No, to be fair, great finish by Collar though.
Really nice finish.
Perfectly bottom right corner, not straight through the middle, just fucking slotted it.
These are the exact kind of goals that we knew we would get out of him, by the way. These are the exact kind of goals that I was envisioning personally when we got him back in.
James is envisioning. I can't have one mistake without this.
Just say your point. What?
Your point.
You thought that he was going to be a flop.
I did not say flop.
Well, you thought he wouldn't be very good and doesn't deserve to start. But yeah, he's
now that
joint
deserved to start comment was made seasons ago, I think. It wasn't made this season. Was it?
It was. Yes.
Well, I'm happy. I'm always happy to
defend yourself, James.
No. Hold on. I'm always happy to have egg on my face and hold my hands up if I get something wrong. I said that about Fraser, and I also said that about Bosnowski as well.
Fair,
but he's been performing well with someone like Tavia that can find him and play him in behind. And when we play as a team, good football. Shock. Collar had our two best moments from our two best passages of play all game.
Yeah.
So and if we could do that for tags, then probably we wouldn't be complaining. I wouldn't be complaining as much. Going with is this the guy that we should be having to lead our line? If we can actually play football and give him chances rather than
consistently,
and if Griff gets the job long term,
you itchy boy.
No, I have something to say, but I'm going to save it for after the pod because I can't say it on the pod.
Oh, okay.
If Griff gets the job long term, then obviously there's going to have to be that. How do I create more chances? Because I think it's like the third worst attack currently, and unfortunately our goals conceded because we'll touch on the equaliser that they had. We now have the second worst defence in the league.
Yay!
Only Wellington have
we went
worse.
From like a month ago being like, this defence is impeccable to
it's now.
Yeah, but
we suck.
Is that off goals conceded?
It's goals conceded, yes.
Yeah, but you got to remember the first two rounds we conceded 8 goals.
We conceded
7.
6.
7. 6.
6.
Shut up.
6.
Okay.
We conceded 7.
No, we didn't. It was 2-2 and 4-0.
And then 4.
Oh, it was 4-0, not 5.
Dickhead.
But yeah.
Okay, 6. So take off 6 goals.
Yeah.
And then where are we?
You can't just Josh.
No,
Josh isn't even doing it.
But if you're going to judge Griff and say he's got the worst defensive record in the league,
all the games that we lost, take those out and turn them into wins. Where are we on the table?
No. Okay, here's a better example. ever since Griff took over, what is our defensive like? Where do we sit in the league?
It's not great because we've been conceding a lot.
No, but what is it?
I don't have the number off the top of my head.
It doesn't matter.
Why not, James?
But the point, because what I'm getting to is that more often than not, on the average XG, the opposition have been creating more than us.
Yeah.
And we've not been able to create that much either. So we were doing well initially, but because our attack just hasn't improved at all, that's when the floodgates open, and that's when we've been conceding a lot more.
I think the problem is specifically with that stat is that even, Josh, if you were to remove 6 goals, right?
Yeah.
Someone who prides himself on being a defensive type manager.
Yeah.
And it has been working as a defensive assistant coach for a very long time.
And one of the best in the A-League at doing so.
Yes. We should be expecting to be not, if you take away those 6 goals, maybe we're in mid-table in terms of being...
If you take away the 6 goals, it puts us to 6th.
Right, yeah, that's what I was saying. So that would put us in mid-table. That's still not...
No, it actually makes us a little bit higher.
Can we get much higher?
Okay, but even if you were to take... But we can't just say we didn't concede 6 goals.
No, of course.
We did, right?
But it's just, it's what would we be defensively next season if we had better players on the ball so that we could also keep the ball and not be having to put out as many fires defensively.
But as well, my point was purely going to be that if we have a defensive-oriented manager, we should be expecting to be at least in the top 4 in terms of defensive solidarity. Like, we should be one of the teams that concedes the least in the league, not like mid-table. We should be at least in the top 4. If that's what our whole identity is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like, being second bottom is ridiculous. If we're going to be like a defensive team. Like that, you should be good enough, I think, if you've been doing this job for long enough to be able to use the players you've got to still build a defensive structure that is good enough to hold your own.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Well, it's valid because, again, he, like I said, he's had that proficiency within being a defensive coach, and he had that improvement at Western Sydney and Wellington. Yeah. But for probably 2/3 of his tenure, Griff has tighten up the defense, and we hadn't really been seeing these blowout games until recently.
Yeah, Adelaide was just...
Because those sides have now started to, find their straps and get going.
Yeah.
Boys, I genuinely think we might get the spoon.
Right.
Did you
it's closer than...
Did you come to that conclusion now? Or
It's closer than I thought.
Welcome, Josh.
When's the last time you looked at the table?
I didn't realise we were 2 points off last.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're also like 3 points off the 6.
It's crazy.
If we win... That puts us up to 7th.
Yeah.
Probably.
If.
No, the defensively, our numbers have been fairly good in terms of the percentage of the shots that we face that are on target.
Yeah.
That's been consistently good.
But goals conceded is just the most important one.
Yeah.
And
so when teams do breach us, then we're fucked. And I know it's obvious in me saying that, but goals per shot or goals per shot on target is pretty bad. Yeah. And that's why for the goal against Auckland, it was just a collection of fuck ups, because I think they were always trying to isolate De Vries on the left-hand side. And I think Collar went out a little bit too early to try and press, I think it was Howison. He skips past, and then he finds De Vries, who's got so much space and time. And then he whips the ball in, and then I think Wooten and Cosgrove were kind of in a bit of a wrestle, and then May comes flying through like a bat out of hell, and then he gets the goal. I don't know why VAR were even checking.
No, I think it was because the foul.
He whistled. I know the ref whistled, and there was a bit of conjecture about did he whistle before or after the ball.
No, it was because he thought there was a foul outside the box.
No, there was
for a free kick.
Separately though, there was a bit of conjecture about if the ref blows his whistle. Yeah, VAR.
You can't overturn it because it's blown the whistle before the goal's gone over the line. Yeah,
but I think it would have been a disgrace if that goal hadn't have stood on.
I would have taken it.
Oh, I would have taken it.
No shit, but it's like it's.
But also, we have to talk about mentality.
We do.
Because, as the old saying goes, you're most vulnerable once you've just scored a goal for yourself.
Correct.
Like you've got to make sure that you switch back on instantly.
Yep.
And what a waste, Yeah. Like to take the lead against arguably, they're not league leaders, but they're very much
one of the best teams in the comp.
Correct. In their home ground.
Yep.
And you just throw it away within less than 2 minutes.
I wouldn't put that down to mentality, though.
What else would you put it down to?
Because if you've got a lead against the best team in the league, mentally you're going to be like, we could actually win this game. Like, let's give it 110%. Like,
would that not default to let's protect the lead if we believe we can win it?
Yeah, of course I want to protect the lead.
So what else is it not other than mentality?
It's just a good goal, James.
It was a good but in terms of how
better.
But our defensive organisation that whole game for the most part was pretty sloppy for what the team had shown
sure.
for.
When we lost 4-1 to Adelaide, I was like, oh, mentally the boy 4-0, whatever.
Yeah.
Thanks, James.
You're welcome.
Mentally, the boys are
3.
done. I've seen this before under Stadge, whatever. It all falls apart towards the end of the season. But I genuinely feel like they've somewhat mentally bounced back.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying that they're mentally weak. I'm just saying it's so disappointing to take, to get a sucker punch lead
Preventable
against
goals.
the run of play and somewhat instantly you concede.
Yep.
Like in the Prem I was watching last week, I was watching Everton, and obviously I was happy about this because every time Newcastle scored, Everton would come back and score within, basically the next
Pretty
kickoff.
much, yeah.
Literally. And a lot of fans' complaints about Newcastle this season is that they have the talent, they have a good manager. It's just the mentality of the players seems to be very much, we're good enough, so let's just play our football.
And they don't have a good manager.
No, I think their manager's class, personally.
Yeah.
But I think the mentality of the players is now that they've been in the Champions League, they've done really well last season, they seem to be in a bit of a lull where they feel like they've kind of peaked, and if they just keep doing what they're doing, they'll win games, but they're not realising that people are,
They've caught on.
They've caught on to what they do, and now there's no changes.
Yeah.
So that's an example of being, weak mentally in terms of thinking you're good enough to do this through your own game plan, right? And I don't know. The problem I've had with the way we set up defensively is that clearly it wasn't working in terms of what we were getting penetrated over and over and over again. Lots of chances. We got lucky to not concede, to lose that game by quite a few. And you can see from that second goal, we went straight back to what we were doing the whole time. We had something to defend at that point too. It wasn't like we were pushing.
No.
We were like, now let's defend this lead. And yet we're doing the same thing that was leading to them having so many chances. That's my problem. I
think you could find a very similar phase of play that we've conceded either a goal or shot from one of our wingers on the right-hand side stepping out too early and then space being in behind. I think the Sydney game, if you watched the Wallace's goal back and you watched how that happened, it'd be very similar to how that happened.
So where's the fixing in this? When we've seen it over and over again, why aren't we fixing it? What's Griff's plan in order to deal with this kind of... Because clearly this isn't a mistake that we can see goals like this a lot. Clearly, this is a tactical thing that other teams are noticing that they have more space to do this because that's where we're tactically inept to not be able to defend that. So what's going to change? What are we going to do?
It's probably like, I think even on our right-hand side with how we were pressing, I don't think everyone was stepping up onto their man as well as they could have.
No.
I think Shamoon on his side was a little bit too passive.
100%.
And even still, like we weren't tight enough to our players, and just for what the levels that we had been, it's no surprise that, again, here we go, my woke stat of PPDA, but it's no surprise that for this game, we were particularly shit, and all the trends have been going, well, you're actually getting a lot worse with your intensity out of possession.
It seems to think parking the bus, for whatever reason, that seems to be that's good enough mentality from the defence, right? Parking the bus and clearing crosses in seems to be, in their minds, that's what's going to win us the game. When both goals we conceded in this game were because we didn't run out to the man quick enough to shut them down. Both of them. And that's been a theme all season, that we're not having enough pressure on the ball. We're dropping back too much, giving these players with quality enough space to create these chances, and then we concede. So why? When it keeps happening over and over and again, this is my problem with Griff in terms of that, he can say all the right things, and I'm sure he did during your meeting, but when it's so blatantly obvious what's going wrong here, and the amount of shots we conceded outside the box because we're not shutting them down quick enough, why is it not changing?
He did say that in the Adelaide game that there was a problem with how they were exploiting us in the middle, and that's something that he put his hand up and said, I've got to fix.
Okay, well, that's fair. So we talked about that with the 2-man or 3-man midfield that we just get overrun. Yes.
Yep. So I think he'd be aware of what the problem is, and I would like to hope with Wellington, because they're like a bipolar team.
Did you bring up the thought of a 3-man midfield to him?
I didn't want to dominate the interview or the meeting. I mean, I know I had my big book, but I was wanting to let everyone else have a go, and it was only over an hour. So I would have liked to have asked him a lot more if I had the opportunity to, but I was still very grateful for what he did say throughout.
Well, so that's my only...
No, that's fair.
It's just like,
towards the end of the game, Osler, that would have been great if he did get that goal after the shit that we have been giving him the last few weeks, with the lob chance that he had over Michael Weld.
Did the best he could, to be fair. You could argue he could have maybe got a bit more power on it to make it more difficult, but a lob by any means is difficult to get power on. So.
And then the game just sort of got into that state where it was just chance.
Grab and go.
And then it just went full fucking chaos ball with, as we were saying before, with Risdom playing at centre mid at one point.
Jab, just holding down right trigger and sprinting.
And then it's just like, fuck it.
I loved it though. That's peak A-League football right there.
A-League.
It's so good.
And then it almost paid off with Taggart's shot. Because I know we've mentioned this loads of times on the pod where it's like, if that was Tags understaged, that motherfucker is launching it top
especially with Wowden goal, bro.
Easily. It's just a shame that
You remember that goal? I think it was Taggart's last goal of like Stadge season where he scored against Sydney, but we lost that 7-1.
yes,
That's what I was expecting.
yeah,
Yeah.
it would have been great.
Yeah.
It's
But hey, we take a draw.
Yeah.
We all predicted at least a 3 or 2-0 loss.
Yeah,
so
I think I
that's
said
like
4-0 and then
to lose by at least 2. We all predicted. Hey, we came out
I'll
with a
take
point.
a point any day.
Any final
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah.
Nothing from me in particular. Just really good point. Really good point. I think the reason that we are so sort of downcast about performances like this is because we have really good showings against these good teams, and then we follow it up with really shit showings.
Like we're
against
going to
the
lose
bad
3-0
teams.
to the Knicks next week.
Yeah, exactly.
Stupid like that.
We'll have a big win over Auckland, or a really good away form. Beat the Jets at their home ground, or beat MacArthur at their home ground, and then we'll follow that up by losing at home to the Mariners or to Brisbane or some shit like that.
Yep.
But
Yep.
it's frustrating. It is frustrating, but we're happy with the point. I think it's fair to say.
Of course.
Yeah, like I said, I'll take a point any day.
Yeah.
But I still haven't seen enough from, even if we won, I still haven't seen enough from this team.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Player ratings. So Brian Kaltak was the man of the match with 46% of the vote.
Really
Interesting. I mean, he did score.
Really?
Yeah.
He scored.
Tavir wasn't too far behind. I think.
There we go.
Tavir
Yeah.
and Collar weren't too far behind.
That's fair.
Matt Sutton. You guys gave him a 5.9. We gave him a 6.3.
Yeah.
Shabel Shamoon, we agreed on this.
Oh.
So you guys gave him a 5.2. We gave him a 5.2.
Cold.
Brian Kaltak, you guys gave him a 7.5. We gave him a 7.3.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Wooden, you guys gave him a 6.4. We gave him a 6.
Yep.
Sam Sutton, you guys gave him a 6.1. We gave him a 5. Will Freeney,
Fair.
you guys gave him a 5.3. We gave him a 5.2. Cal Timmins, you guys gave him a 5.3. We gave him a 5.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Peno, right. 6.4 you guys gave him. And then we gave him a 5. Look,
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did I give him a 5?
Yeah.
I gave him a 5. He's just
You gave him a 5.
Yeah.
5. Yep, 5.
It was like it's just Peno at left
He
wing.
didn't score a worldie, so.
Yeah, no.
That's why.
I mean, look, I prefer Peno in the middle. Like
We all
I'm
do.
not giving him a 5 because he played particularly bad. It's just he just doesn't play the way I want him to play when he's on the wing.
Look at Tavia. This was a very good performance. You guys gave
Brilliant
him a 7.4. We gave him a 7.5.
Yeah,
I was surprised to see how lowly you guys rated him.
7.4.
You
So
two.
I gave him, I gave him a 7. Yeah.
You gave him a 7.5?
Yeah,
And then Alex, you went 8.5.
I went 8.5.
yeah, that's fair. But also, like, I saw your rating. I was like, that's fair enough. But in terms of how I've done my ratings, I've given 8.5 to people who have like bagged a couple goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8.5.
Yeah, but he
when you
bagged a
draw
couple
is
of
like
assists.
10.
I'm aware of that. But the first assist was a bit like, okay, it wasn't really necessarily him. It was more a bit of individual brilliance from Kaltak to get down there and
Stupidity from Auckland.
Yeah, it wasn't like, if it was like 2 great crosses in, well-worked goals, absolutely 8.5. It was just the first assist wasn't particularly
Fair.
Yeah.
Jaden Kaczarski, you guys gave him a 4.9. We gave him a 5.
Yeah, look, a bit bang average from him, and it's not his fault.
He's
playing out of position in
and he had
terms of,
to run after everything. And
it's not his
he's obviously
game.
getting frustrated.
Yeah,
So.
he's an on-the-ball type player. It's not his fault.
Steph Kolikovsky, you guys gave him a 7. We gave him a 7.5.
Yeah.
Adam Taggart,
So good.
you guys gave him a 4.1. We gave him a 4.2. Trent Osler, you guys gave him a 4.1. We gave him a 4.2. Josh Risden, good to see him back after a pretty extended hiatus. You guys gave him a 4.7. We gave him a 5.
Yeah.
Anthony Dillitza, congrats on making your debut. You guys gave him a 4.9. We gave him a 5. Adriano Lebib, you guys gave him a 4.6. We gave him a 5.3. And then the Lion Man, you guys gave him a 5.6 and we gave him a 6.
Yeah.
Fair enough, honestly.
Yeah.
No problem with that.
So this first week in a while, we had nothing like... yeah. Okay, anyway.
I think there's a reason why that didn't happen this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say there's a reason that we don't have any outrageous takes this week, and it's because you...
Okay, in all seriousness, when Lawrence is back to full fitness, are we playing him as a striker again and playing him
I think
higher?
so.
Because Tavir's obviously is a starter now. He's got to.
Yeah. But I think we just chuck Cole on the left wing and then have
change it
Tommy
to a
up top.
midfield 3 so that you've got.
Please.
That's what I would like to do. See Lawrence and Tavia playing as advanced. And then pick your. I don't know who you're going to have as a number 6, but maybe Freeney or G could. Perhaps do that, and then
G
you go
or Will.
Collar left wing and JK right wing, and
Even
see.
Brano. I'm not saying that he's.
I know what you're thinking though.
But as in, like, in terms of a proven number 6 who actually hasn't played much, but when he has played this season,
not too bad.
He's been quite good this season.
But maybe that
played.
might be something that gets more for tags because that just gives him more service.
Yeah,
perhaps.
and I also
I would
think
like to know where he is because we haven't seen him since his wife gave birth. Like, I'm
Calf
starting
injury.
to wonder if Brano himself gave birth. Because
Calf injury.
he's been. Is it still the calf injury?
I
Because we haven't heard any updates.
Yeah,
on
I mean,
that.
I assume Griffith's thinking is also, you know, Brano's getting on a bit. He'd rather give game time experience to some younger players over someone who's probably not going to be
that's
there
fair, but
much
we're
longer.
chasing finals.
Are we?
Yeah,
I think we're just kind of there and just hoping
Yeah.
that the table sort of gives us that boost.
We need it, to be honest.
Speaking of which, we could do that if we get a win against Wellington. So may as well preview that one.
Yep.
Thoughts off the bat, Josh?
Wellington.
Yeah, mate.
I reckon we just fucking ping every single shot from outside the box at their stinker.
Yeah.
And 1 in 10 should go in.
that's fair.
It's a fair call.
That's fair. I
Can't
think
argue
we
with
get
that.
10 you're being
shots.
generous to him saying 1 in 10.
That's fair. Alex?
I think we should be winning this one.
Well, yeah, for sure.
We really okay.
No excuses.
They're a club in
There's
disarray.
no excuses.
Yeah, they're a club without
We
identity right now, like we were.
need to win this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please, can we win
I will
this
not
game?
accept a
please?
draw.
No.
I will be pissed if we
It's
draw
a must
this.
win.
A draw
If
is a
we
must.
draw
Yeah,
this,
no,
if
no,
we draw
no,
this,
no.
that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Unacceptable.
For Griff long term, I think he needs to get a win this game.
100%.
And I know it's no shit, but I think it's like 1 win in our last 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good.
But yet we're still within a couple of games of finals.
That's how stupid this league
yeah,
is.
this league is so.
I
Tin
prefer
pot.
it, to be honest.
No, it's fun.
It is
stays
fun.
in
Fun.
contention
Because it's
for
the
the whole
closest
year.
thing we'll get to
Yeah.
relegation, promotion.
The thing is, like,
Yeah.
this league is
You're
unique in that
fighting.
you can watch the A League at any point in the season, whether it's the start of the season or the end of the season. You always have that sort of excitement about like every game matters. For
Every
who makes
game's a
finals.
final now,
It's
boys.
never
like-
been this close.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
But like it's really close to the point where, you know, the team that's bottom is like 2 or 3 wins away from making the finals. And
Yeah.
the Mariners, who were bottom of the table, what was it, 3 or 4 weeks ago, and now in 6th.
That's something that I want to talk about because someone put up a stat. I think it might have been Tom. I want to shout him out. So when we beat Central Coast 3-0 at home, at the end of the round, they were last.
Yeah.
Since then, they've gone on that undefeated run with
Yeah.
all those
Fair
wins.
play.
Meanwhile, we've gone
Yeah.
and we've gone to shit since then.
Strange league.
It is. But you look at European football. Let's say the Premier League.
Yeah, okay.
Week 1, everyone's all excited because no one realistically knows how the league is going to play out.
Yeah.
First 10 weeks, oh wow, look, Liverpool are doing shit. Oh wow, Arsenal are doing really good. Oh wow, City are struggling.
Amram's been sacked.
Yeah, like oh wow, Sunderland are chasing Champions League football. Now it sort of piddles out to what everyone thought it was going to be, and I was just like, oh, now it's kind of boring. And it's waiting for the end of the season.
I actually think this league's been one of the more entertaining ones, and just in terms of,
This
like the
season will be
relegation.
Premier League?
the-
Yeah.
No, the Premier League has been good in parts. The
Yeah.
mid-table, no one gives a shit because
Wrong.
I'm
No, they're
you're
about-
saying this because you're an Everton
No,
fan.
I'm not. No, I'm
The
not.
mid-table
Listen,
is exactly what we thought it would be.
Okay, yeah,
the
but-
only
but in
interesting
term-
things are the top 2, the title race, and the relegation
Yeah, but
race.
you're saying this as a Man City fan, okay?
As a Man City fan, I love all football. I watch all football, okay?
Then how
I've-
are you saying the mid-table thing's bad? If you look at the table, there's about
No,
five.
I'm saying like there's nothing there that we didn't expect. All the tables all the players
that's completely false. Brentford, who lost a couple of their key players out along with Bournemouth, and they're still competing for a European spot. Right? Everton, who were near relegation the last few seasons, are also competing for a European
West Ham.
spot. Sunderland are competing for a European spot.
I said
Tottenham,
Everton would get
Tottenham,
7th.
Tadeusz
I knew Everton would
No,
do
I
well.
know, but
the
I'm
only
saying
surprises for
that's
me this
you.
season have been Tottenham
Yeah.
and Wolves being as bad as they were. I
Fair.
thought Wolves would get relegated, but I didn't think they'd be this bad.
Look, I just
What
think
about West Ham?
No, I thought I'm pretty sure I predicted West Ham to get relegated in my Premier League prediction.
Look, I think the mid-table is obviously. Are the people there what we expected? Yes. But I'm saying the battle going on there right now to get that conference or Europa League spot is absolutely mental. Like, there's only about 5 points
No,
between.
it's
six-
interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting, but there's no one in there
Okay.
that I wouldn't have expected to be there.
No,
That's
that's
what I'm
fair.
saying.
Just to bring it back to
Yeah,
No,
sorry.
but this
obviously-
was going to come back to the A League.
right. So
at the start of the season, would you have expected Newcastle to be anywhere as good as they were? No. But even with 3 weeks ago, or 3 or 4 weeks ago, when the Mariners were bottom of the A League, they're in finals now. They're in finals
for now, and then they'll go back to the bottom.
No, but like the fact of the matter is that
I wouldn't say that we might be at the bottom.
Going on an undefeated run for 3, 4, 5 weeks can take you from the bottom of the table to the final spot.
Yeah.
And being, in the top 3 or 4, if you lose or go without a win for 4 or 5 games, you can find yourself in the bottom 4.
Yeah.
That's what's brilliant about this league. That's why I want us so badly to get a good run of form going now that we're late on in the season. Now that we've got this game against Wellington, and then we're coming back home.
City, who are in all sorts.
Exactly. Yeah. This is the worst Melbourne City side we have seen probably since they became Melbourne City.
Yeah, I'm actually worried about that. This is not good for Australian football.
What do you mean?
Melbourne City being this bad, I genuinely think it's because CFG have cut funding.
Yeah, they have.
Probably, yeah.
I don't think so.
But they have cut funding.
No, not necessarily. I think they've just had their golden era. I think they're just going through a bit of a transition right now in terms of what they want to prioritize.
This game's going to be huge.
That's going to be a big game.
Yeah.
Look, I think with the case of City, it's more that they're sort of going from rejigging their prioritizations, because we've seen in recent years how they go for these big names and these fantastic squads, McLaren, Barisha, and these big visa signings that
Valon, sorry,
these big visa signings that come in and sort of like shake things up. Yeah. Now we're seeing that they've gone towards developing academy players, and it's working for them, to be fair. Because
they're not.
No, they're in the fucking quarterfinals or round of 16 or whatever in the Asian Champions League. Okay, and I'll say for one, and two, you look at the players that they are developing. Geordie Boss sold on for big money. Patrick Beach is going to go for big money.
Yep.
There's a lot of players Kai Truan as well, going for big money.
Yeah,
there's lots of players in and around that squad that are going to go for a big.
But just to bring it back to us, this just shows the next 3 games that we do, even 4 if you like. You got Wellington away, you got City at home, Mariners away, and MacArthur at home.
Yeah, we got 4.
I feel like genuinely we could win 3 of those games.
We could win all 4.
Got to. We've got to. So, any concerns about Wellington?
I have concerns about Wellington in the sense that I have concerns that we're going to do what we always do against teams that we should do.
I have concerns for one particular aspect, and it's probably not what you're going to expect.
Wellington defending deep with a 5-back?
That's always going to be my problem, right? I don't think they're good enough to hold off on us as much as other teams are when they play a drop back. I think defensively they're not as strong in terms of being able to hold that shape, so I'm not too worried about that.
It's Eze.
Hey?
Eze.
No, it's not. See, the problem, the concern I have is that I really need JK to take this game by the scruff of the neck.
Oh,
because this is the game for him.
Why?
Because the way Wellington defend, they're very much a drop back kind of defensive system.
Yep.
JK is going to have a lot of space to be on the ball. He's going to have a lot of space to do what he does best on the ball, whether it's running up and down the field, whether it's playing a pass through, whether it's just taking the shot, being confident.
Yep.
This is his game. 100%.
I'm with you.
If he wants to show that he's good enough to play for us as a starting striker and show what he's capable of. Obviously, we saw it with Auckland. He came on, but that was all because he was managing to get on the ball and take a few touches.
Yep.
This is it. If he gets yanked by the 60th minute or halftime because he didn't perform and Tags comes on, I think for me that's my last chance of giving to him, and you put Tags back in next week.
I just hope that this is a game where, because we're playing up against a side that concedes goals for fun, that if Tags is to try and get things back on track, I hope it's this game, and ideally he kicks on from there, because I think Luka Tavia will be one of our best routes to goal.
Yep,
Kolakovsky, if we can link him more
both
with Tavia,
them,
and hopefully that should give Tags better looks and hopefully more of them, so that even if he fucks up like 2 or 3 of the shots, he'd at least know I'm going to get supplied that way. And if we can get Sam Sutton pushing up a little bit more, I thought there were times in the Auckland game where we were getting him a little bit higher, but
and he just wasn't getting the ball.
But for some, that's the paradox. It's like you've got one of your fullbacks in Shamoon who's okay, but he's not really great offensively, who's getting more of the action up high, and yet Sam Sutton, who's your better attacking fullback, is not really getting into those positions as much. So,
can we get into lineups? Because I got a bit of an interesting take for lineup.
Sure. Josh, would you make what changes would you make to the lineup?
I don't think I'd.
I wouldn't change a thing.
I wouldn't change anything.
I want to give
you're
JK
not gonna
that
like
chance.
this, Will, but
yeah,
I probably I think Kucharski's better off the bench.
Really?
I don't think you're wrong.
No, that's a fair call. But I'm just saying, in terms of this opposition specifically, this is a great team for JK to really go out there and do what he does best.
Great time for him to come off the bench like Auckland.
Fair, but so who would you start instead of him?
Tags?
Probably Tags.
You know me. I'm not going to say no to that. But I just think, why not give him one more shot? Because I really do think this is it for him. Like, I'm not saying that, there's no coming back from this.
Because I've seen enough from the past 4 or 5 other games that I just don't think he's ready to start. I think he will be, and I don't think he's a bad player. I just think whenever he started, he hasn't been great.
I think the problem is that he needs to be on the ball, as we've said. And I think when he was playing with Tommy for that very brief period, Tommy was really helping out on that because he'd have to be giving up the ball a lot, which would leave JK in a lot of space to do all that stuff on the ball because Tommy would get shut down very quickly to the point where he'd have to pass it off. Yeah. So that's the problem, where we don't have a creator right now, which is giving JK that space to do what he wants to do. So I agree with you.
I'd love to see Kucharski start next to Tommy. I felt like we were trying to squeeze Taggart next to Tommy and get Kucharski.
We tried
to squeeze it all in, and it just
too
wasn't
juicy.
balanced.
We had too many attackers up top that we didn't know what to do, and I completely understand that. Look, I'd be happy to have 45 minutes swap either way, Taggart or JK, depending. But if either one of them starts off hot and scores in the first half, then you just keep them on.
I wouldn't make really any changes to the team, but I would also view it in the perspective of what you were saying about 45 minutes each. Mm-hmm. I'll be like, which striker wants it more? If I'm Griff, I'd be getting JK and Tags. I'd be going, all right.
We're saying all this, and Suleimani's going to start
to see who starts against City and from the rest of the season.
Yeah,
you've got 45 minutes.
I just feel like Kucharski's not really like a striker; he's a second striker. Taggart is a striker.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah. It's just we need output, and Griff has been consistent on that. We need output from our players.
I can just envision JK really being effective against Phoenix. I just can, because the way they defend, it's just so perfect for him. He's going to have time on the ball. Because they're very much similar to us in terms of their structure is basically drop back and then hoof it when the ball comes in the box. Yep. Whereas JK doesn't need that. If he gets the ball on the edge of the box, that's his time. So,
Alex, you had some thoughts?
I have got.
Okay, go on. If you say G Train, I'm going to.
No.
Okay.
No, he's going to be serious.
Oh. I feel so bad. It's not his fault.
In goal, Matt Sutton, obviously.
Well done.
Left back, Sam Sutton. 2 centre backs, Kaltak Wood. Right back,
the babe.
Osler?
Trent Osler.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Can't knock it.
Yeah.
Double pivot, Freeney and Nicholas Pennington.
Yes.
Ooh.
Not going to happen, but I agree.
Hold up. Freeney, Pennington. Right wing, I'm going to Veer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Having Osler there, I think he can get a bit more inside. Osler can get a bit more forward and touch.
I completely agree with that.
Hit that byline. Left wing, I'm going with Jaden Kucharski because I want him. I completely agree with you, Will.
Yeah.
This is a team that sits deep a lot. I think if you play JK slightly deeper and allow him to cut inside off of that left wing, he's going to have so much time and space to actually try and run at this defense here.
Okay.
I think that's what we're going to go, what we should be going for, at least what I would
And
go
then
for.
what, Collar and Tags?
And then up top, Collar and Tags.
Yeah, I can't knock it. Like, I think if you can get JK and Tags into a side that works, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there is no reason not to do that because if it's talent, man.
My dream scenario for this game is that Sam Sutton and Osler are going to have plenty of time and space to be able to get forward. And I could genuinely see a scenario in which we see Jaden Kucharski tucking inside, Sam Sutton being able to get forward on the left-hand side, maybe even JK playing a ball through to Sutts pulling back one across the box and Tags being there waiting for the tap-in. Or you can see it on the other side with Tavia doing that with Osler and then pulling that back across the box. I think Collar's going to work really well with getting in behind. I think that's his strength, and I would like to see that.
I just don't think we're going to be able to get in behind.
I think we could catch them. I think there's 1 or 2 opportunities where we could catch them, but that's why you need people that can play balls from deep. That's why I would have Tavia on the right wing tucking inside, allowing Osler to actually get forward and operate in the middle as well to
play those balls.
And Penno in the midfield to actually act as that person that can carry it forward a bit more.
Oh, sorry, Josh. Yeah, you go.
No, you go. We're running out of time.
The thing I did like about the Auckland game was the scenario that we had for Collar's goal, where you had Tavia running through, and he had JK and Collar either side.
That's
I
fair.
did like that, but I'm also not too sure how that would work
against a load block.
It probably wouldn't. It probably wouldn't. But Wellington do this thing a lot where they leave a massive gap between their midfield and their defense because their defensive line sits really deep, whereas they have no creation through their wing backs. It seems, for me at least. You have their two strikers, and then you have their midfield that sort of pushes up in a flat three. Yeah. There's gaps in behind there to exploit. I feel if you can get Tavia or JK coming inside into the middle from those wide areas, running at the defense, I think there can be a gap that opens up there. Either for Collar to get in behind with a run, or if you take a shot yourself, or if you do allow Sutton and Osler to get forward, you send that ball there, cut across the box, Tags is there waiting. Yeah. That's what I think my ideal scenario would be for these games.
And that's fair.
Well, I'm conscious of time, but were there any final points before we wrap things up?
Prediction?
Score predictions. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, I reckon 2-1 us.
I'm going to say, I think we're going to have a good game here. I'm hoping 3-1.
3-1, yeah, fair.
3-2.
3-1.
3-2, who?
To us.
Bro. You think Nixon's scored 2?
Well, they're actually not too bad with their goal scored.
Fair.
This season.
All right.
But they've just been shit defensively. So I just wonder if we've sort of clocked on, hey, we don't actually create well when we hoof it long, but when we play the ball on the ground, we actually kind of look half decent. You know, who would have thought?
This is going to be a big game, I feel, for us. And especially, I think this is going to be one of the biggest sort of tests for Griffo in terms of now's your opportunity to show us what is your football about. Because we can say against these big teams that come and play us, these teams that are better than us, sure, you know, get it out, hoof it long, get rid of it. Now we're going up against a team that is bottom of the A-League ladder, that doesn't play good football, that is defensively very weak. Yes, they provide some threat on the counter, but defensively very, very weak. This is now is the time for you to actually show us what is your team about.
There is no wondrous situation where Ryan Fraser came on and changed.
Exactly.
Is it too hyperbolic to say that this is our biggest game of the season?
We say it every week.
I know we say it every week.
I think if we'd lost to Auckland, we wouldn't be saying this, but because we drew, and now we're actually still in contention because no one was expecting us to pick up anything.
We have evidence from what the Mariners have done that if you can go on a little bit of a win streak, even if it's only 3 or 4 games, if you can go on a little bit of a win streak or an undefeated streak, you can find yourself in the top 6 very quickly. And our next 4
games, including this one, are all against teams fighting for finals.
I feel like the boys will be very fired up.
I think so.
Just finally for our viewers, because we said the first 4 games, the last 4 games that we've got Wellington away, City at home, Mariners away, Macarthur at home, Sydney away, and then Brisbane at home.
Yeah, 5 out of the 6 I think are winnable. Sydney are
Sydney, good luck. Try not to get done too badly. Or to be fair, they weren't.
Sydney is such a hot and cold team.
They create, but they don't really score. Yeah. So I guess we'll see. Have we wrap it up there?
I mean, I have one more thing I want to say. I tried Muzzbuzz today.
It's great, mate.
It was all right, but they had a sign on the sign saying you spend $10. Get chance to win free glory tickets, and I was like, "Oh, sick!" So I bought 2 coffees, which is $17, by the way. Yeah. And they didn't even ask for my email or anything, and they just said, "Oh, thank you." I was like, "So how are you gonna put me in a draw to win the tickets?" Then what's going on? And they just didn't do anything. So
see, I think no, because they know that it's you. You're the only person that's ever bought from that establishment in like the past 2 months.
It was also like I rated it. I have it on film. I'll show you guys after. I rated it Shah Shamoon out of. It's like it was just above average. It was all right.
What did you get? Really like
I got a mocha frappe.
Okay, did you get the Moz balls though?
No,
mate,
that's why you didn't enjoy it.
But the problem is when you get to the bottom, it gets a bit like watery and stuff.
Yeah. Anyway,
Muzz balls are
well done, Muzzbuzz. It's not the worst coffee I've ever had. So I was Shah
Did you get a grande?
I got a tall
RBO.
Got a tall. I did.
Oh, yeah,
very cool.
Fair call.
Alrighty.
Well, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for episode 56.
Apologies for the audio shitting itself as per usual.
And the cuts and James
and James interrupting my outro. Thank you. Apologies for that as well.
Beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Well.
Sorry for going off the transcript.
That's the standard glory days.
It is, and that's what we love about this podcast, and that's what the people love about this podcast. And if you love this podcast, make sure you subscribe. We're on the road to 500. Try and get us to 500 before the end of the...
Glory days merch. Anyone?
Yeah,
just me. Okay. The fuel's going up 30 cents again tomorrow. I don't think I can...
Is it actually?
Yeah, another 30 cents. I don't know if I can afford this
I don't think the people can afford Glory Days merch. But regardless of that, thank you so much for your continued support. We will see you all next week after what is hopefully a big win for the team against the Wellington Phoenix. But until then, that is all from us. Thanks, and guys. We will see you all next week.
Thank you.
Bye.